everyone missed my opening monologue.
Dang.
Sorry.
It was probably the greatest monologue anyone's ever heard.
Well, now it was the quietest monologue everyone's ever heard.
It almost sounds like some weird writing trope. It was the greatest monologue never heard.
This monologue is just a tribute.
That reference was coming.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Oop, wrong button.
Alrighty then. So, how y'all doing today?
Oh, busy day.
I wish my day was busier. It's just
I tr- I
work.
I joined. I signed up for a live dubbing session this past weekend, in another Discord, and uh, wasn't as great as I hoped it to be.
Wait, was
How
it at
cringe was
what?
it?
Yeah, please tell.
It was, well, I mean, it's nothing's ever going to live up to the standard of Mic Check, but there's no discussion. They just went right into it, and there are a lot of sound issues. There, so the game we were dubbing is Ace Attorney. You guys know that visual novel game?
Yeah.
Objection?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Objection, point the finger, blah blah blah.
Take that.
Yeah, there were definitely some reads like that. The Phoenix Wright, the main character that does the point, they were voiced by two different people. One person couldn't, keep his environment in place, and couldn't keep up with when he was supposed to read, so there are a lot of breaks there. And he had this very muted Scottish accent, which he was trying to do, which didn't really fit at all. Uh, then he bailed out early. Then the next guy that came in did a better job. Definitely sounded clearer, but he was in that anime mode the entire time. Like everything was yelling and excited and dramatic. Like even in the parts of the dialogue where he's should be talking to himself, or talking to the person next to him, but he still has that same cadence the whole time. So, yeah, it was pretty cringe.
At least you got to the recording. I got cast in an Ace Attorney fan dub, and we had one meeting where everyone was supposed to introduce themselves and show off their character voices, which I was the guy. I was cast as a guy who always screams. So it was embarrassing enough for me doing my character voice in just like a casual live Zoom call. Um, but then almost immediately after the call, like the next day, there was a message saying, "Sorry, things have come up. We won't ever be recording this."
Yeah, the sad thing is, like, I guess the first time I did a live dubbing, that it was really fantastic. People were much more committed. Th- there were at least two or three people that were very committed to their character, and they knew their chops. And it was more relaxed in the sense that people were improving and saying things that weren't in the actual lines of the game, but still something that were in character, but also a chance to kind of poke fun at things, and get the rest of the participants more involved. That would and that was in the Discord, in the Blumvox Discord. But ever since I tried that, and subsequent ones from that Discord and other Discord groups, the quality has just gone straight down. It's just been, I guess it's very hit and miss.
Yeah, online communities and fan communities always hit and miss.
Yeah.
It's just a lack of professionalism.
Yeah.
That's not to say there's not a lot of passion to it.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually something I've been kind of considering doing. Has been a mic check live dub. How we would as you can
How
hear,
how
there's
how far have we come for you to say that out loud? Those
I just
words
said
out of your mouth.
considering. I just said considering. All
That's a
right,
lot of
considering.
logistics.
And my producer is telling me that that might come into question. We'll see. The future is not quite known, but we'll see what happens. Okay. Well, again,
It's pretty
possibility of
well
that
known.
seems to be reducing. Um, no, it's just that I would want to treat it as like an actual and like animation table read. So have people actually like read for it and and cast them, and then do a meeting where everybody, like actually try to treat it like it would be a normal session, but with some actual quality to it.
And then we all
Decent
rotate
feedback from some folks.
characters, and
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
16-hour workout.
exactly. Until everybody's had a chance to read every single character.
Exactly.
36 hours later.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you just broke it down to one scene and not the entire episode, it might be doable.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, again, it's likely not going to happen beyond that. It was just an idea that I was floating. Like, if I was going to do a TMC quality live dub, what would that look like?
From a marketing standpoint, it'll be great to just grab those clips and put them up on the socials.
Right, right.
Yeah, saying.
Um, so that might be something that I would do with the Thumbs Up Club once we, relaunch that and get that going again. Had a little test group going for a little while. Some of you, like I mentioned, some people may have received an email about relaunching things, and I know I did a little announcement there, but yeah, we're working on things. You didn't get the memo.
I didn't
I
get it
kind of,
either.
I kind of want to put on my camera, but I'm in a closet, so it's pitch black in here.
It's okay. The camera's not
I feel left
necessary.
out.
It's not necessary. I do it so that I can show people what I'm doing, because physical space and using it is usually very important. If you
Yeah.
don't want to use it, you don't have to use it. There's zero requirement to. And I love how two people have like specifically closed off. They've specifically disabled their camera. All right, so everybody, go ahead and open up the script.
Yep.
Today's gonna be fun.
If I still sound a bit nasally, I'm still trying to figure out. I'm still trying to take antibiotics for the sinus infection.
No worries, man. No worries. Life
Mhm.
happens. I completely understand that life happens.
It's a crack. I want to go back to voice acting, but I can't because my voice sounds weird. I want to go back to voice acting.
Alrighty then. Oh, there's a couple people on Twitch. That's fun. Hello. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the logistics figured out. Is there anybody who would like to read first? Volunteer for the first part.
I'm down.
I'll go
Alrighty.
after him then.
I'll
Hey,
go
no,
third.
no, that's up
We'll
to Alex to
see what
decide. Okay.
happens.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
That's
Oh,
up to
okay.
Alex to
All
choose.
right.
There's only one volunteer here. Everybody else is voluntold.
Oh.
Where's
Is anyone
the-
not reading today?
Where's the script real quick? I'm sorry.
The
It's
script
in
is
the
the
weekly script.
Ah, got it. There we
I'm not reading, by the way.
Ah. Brennan
Yeah.
not reading. Gotcha.
Brennan, stick in the mud.
Very much. I only do character scripts.
This
Hey,
this is a
every
character script.
is a character script. Every script is a character script.
I only do scripts from high fantasy or sci-fi.
There we go. Thank you for being specific. But yes, every script is a character script. Okay. So I guess we should get this going then, shall we? We're almost 15 minutes after, so Let's start the stream. Too early. Hello. Welcome everyone to this week's mic check. Or TMCVO workout as it is now. We should probably stick to the branding. Anyway, we are doing corporate narration. And like I've said, every script is a character script, so we're going to break this down and turn it into a character script just so that I can, continue my crusade against the idea that if it's not explicitly character work, it's not character work. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the cold reads, starting with Alex. Whenever you're ready, go for it.
All right. The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer, Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers, a warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and, most importantly, the doors remain locked. Up next, Roddy.
Okay. All right. The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer. Temporarily prevents doors from being opened whenever another vehicle. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. It sounds an alert for the passengers. A warning pops up on the doors remain locked. All right. James.
Just to confirm, is my connection flaking out, or is that Roddy? Is anybody else seeing?
I was thinking the
it's
same thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
it
Roddy's got an
was-
excuse. Roddy recently moved,
might be me.
so
Okay,
that
yeah,
caused a
that's-
few issues there. But
yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
I just wanted to make sure it was, something that if it was something I could fix, I'd be like, hold on. But if that's out of my control, then
no,
I will
you're good to
continue.
go.
Okay. The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer, Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened while another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers. A warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and most importantly, the doors remain locked. Michael.
The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer, Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened while another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers, a warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and, most importantly, the doors remain locked. Sonic.
All right, 1 second. The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer, Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Do I read the italicized bits too? I'm just making sure.
Absolutely. Whole script.
Yeah, okay, sorry. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward vehicle or object, it sounds an alert for passengers. A warning pops up on the driver's center cluster. And, most importantly, the door remains locked.
No, that was sorry. Go yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Brennan.
He is not reading with us today.
Oh, sorry. Humor then.
Justin. Also,
is
no,
fine.
that was not a violation of the Dan rule in the cold reads.
Okay. Um, the 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer, Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers. A warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and most importantly, the doors remain locked. Who is left?
I believe it is Josh.
Okay, you're up, Josh.
All right. The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer, Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers. A warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and, most importantly, the doors remain locked.
Alrighty then. So let's go ahead and break the script down. So, voiceover or voice under?
Either. I'm actually serious about that.
You're
I
serious
was going to
about
say
that.
the same thing.
Either?
It could be
Yeah, a bit
either,
of both.
depending on context.
It could always be either depending on context. That's what we're talking about, is the specific context of this
We
script.
don't know what medium this is. If this is audio, then if it's purely audio, then it has to be, this is the focus. There's not going to be other sounds that are driving things. If this is video, it could be accompanying still images and it needs to describe what those are, in which case I would say voice over. If, however, it's accompanying a more active video, less of a slideshow, something that is showing how this works in real time, then I would say it's voice under because it's describing what's happening on screen.
For now, I'll lean towards voiceover.
Under for me.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna say it's over. Sorry,
Between
taking my throat.
Twitch and here, there seems to be a even split amongst over and under, and I'm going to count Alex's vote as being one for each side. Well, the thing is when it comes to instructional narration, you can pretty safely send in an audition using voiceover technique, because ultimately what you're saying, the information, is the key feature. So generally, these kinds of corporate narration are done as modules that sales reps and the people who are actually working to move these cars to customers, they're going to have to log into like some kind of online module and go through the classes, and you're going to be walking them through that. So you are just as much a character in that as anything else they're going to see on screen. So because the information is such a central role, and because you are going to be there with them, you can safely assume and perform this as though it were a voice over script versus voice under. Um, yes, thank you on that. I have been, yeah, sure. Anyway, um, but Alex, I can see where you're coming from on that, and I'm not going to say that you are incorrect in that assumption. Um, I just think that if you were going to make an initial decision on which way to go, the safest way to do it would be voice over because it is instructional. So the
Fair
information you are
assessment.
presenting is key. Sorry, what was that? I was talking over you. My bad.
Oh, I was just saying that's a fair assessment.
All right. So, for those of you who are unfamiliar, voiceover just means that you are a character. You are upfront. You are supposed to be heard to your fullest extent. So, normal distance away from the microphone, normal delivery, you don't have to change a thing about it. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the script itself, or at least who's talking. So, who are you? In talking in the, who's speaking in the script?
Someone who's knowledgeable about the car and cares about safety.
Okay.
I would think if I had to choose a specific character for this, I might go with someone who owns the car, has kids, and is telling another parent about the safety features in order to explain why I chose this car over another one.
Good. Specificity is important. I don't like that character. It's a good one.
I got an idea for a character.
Okay.
Uh, because it's explaining things, how the technology works. It makes me think of the the person that talks to James Bond and explains how the exploding, you know, lipstick
Q.
thing on his all the tech works on like explaining the technology that way. It's got a very informative yet authoritative tone to it.
Okay, so you have designed this technology.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that I think I can work with that. Yeah.
I like
No,
to
that's
think
that's always a good approach to take. Is as somebody who is super deeply connected to what it is you're talking about. So, one of the engineers who designed this stuff, like the person who did all the programming for it, just somebody who worked on the project itself. Usually a good approach.
I have a character in mind also.
Okay.
It's I was just thinking like how they introduce new technology products at like conventions or whatever.
Hmm.
They introduce the product and they say, "Oh, this product is different from last year's because of this, because we added this." So that's what I was getting from it.
Okay.
I kind of was actually thinking the same thing as Josh there. It's someone who is knowledgeable about the car and is describing it to someone who might be interested in it, either in a home setting where you're just sitting on the couch and talking to a friend, like on the other end of the couch, or even a salesperson, like describing it with the car, like right behind him, like to someone who may buy it.
Okay. Okay. I would be careful of that character because it would be very easy to slip into a read that will. Gosh dang it. Chat is too distracting. It'd be very easy to slip into a read that would be easily done by an AI, just presenting information. So the whole idea behind the script breakdown is to give yourself the tools to not be replaceable by AI. Because, I mean, if somebody just needed the information read, then they could do it for free, right? And still have a decent sound out of it. So, what you're supposed to bring to it is an emotional angle to the whole thing. You're supposed to bring a this emotional connection to what it is you're trying to say. And it doesn't have to be a deep one, it just has to be one that's there. So I would steer clear of somebody who's just presenting information to the wider world about this particular product. I think that would be. Um, oh, hey, nice. That means you can show me your skill there, Alex. I'd love to hear it. Um, but you definitely need to be somebody who's like worked on this project. Maybe you had somebody, or maybe you knew somebody who got into a bad accident because of something like this, and they wanted to prevent that. Maybe again they are the engineer that has worked specifically on this technology, or somebody who worked on the coding to make sure that everything worked correctly. Again, I think being really connected to the project is going to make you stand out a whole lot more than just saying, I am presenting this to an audience. Because if you are,
Gotcha.
cool, they've got AI for that, right? Why would I need to hire an actor at a higher rate when I could just run it through a machine for free? So, that being said, let's talk about some of the key things. What is this feature? What are we talking about? Why is this important? And what are we trying to communicate about it? I'm just trying to get some thoughts and some ideas on your overall point when it comes to the script.
Probably talking about a child feature or a child lock that wasn't in their products before.
Okay.
This is a new general safety feature that doesn't require extra thought.
This is something to help keep your kids from doing something that they're not aware is reckless, but you know, like if they did it, it would be very bad. And it's like, oh, how has this not been in the vehicles before?
Okay.
I think it's notable that this feature locks all doors, not just the passenger doors. So while it is definitely, it works when the child lock feature has been activated. It's aimed towards people with kids. This is going to ensure the safety of everyone in the vehicle, not just the children.
Anything else? Any other thoughts? Yeah, I mean, I would definitely agree with Alex here, more so than anything else, because this is a general feature. Again, what you're talking about is this is going to be the standard moving forward, right? So this is to protect not just the kids, but everybody in the car, right? That's your main point. This is a general safety feature that is now on our new models and will be on them going forward. So let's talk about how this works, because one of the main important things that you need to know about corporate narration is you are the subject matter expert. Whether or not you've worked in that field, whether or not you're familiar with any of it, anything about it, you are the subject matter expert. You know the most on it. So people are going to look to you for the important information. So what does that mean? That means that you need to deliver this confidently and coherently. So confidently being march it forward. You know what you're talking about. Keep moving towards your ultimate goal, towards the ultimate point that this is a new safety feature that is going to be standard and it's going to protect your whole family. But I want you to also envision the process. So here in the last paragraph is a great example of it. There's an entire process of how specifically this works. And if you're not seeing the series of events in your mind, and if you cannot point to the specific places on the car that all of these things are happening, then you're going to sound really bland and really disconnected. So here's what I mean. The last line could easily, the last sentence could easily be read as, well, I mean, it's technically one sentence. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers. A warning pops up on the driver's center cluster. And most importantly, the doors remain locked. Kind of boring, right? Kind of flat. It's just information that's easy to get lost, to just lose. There's no real flow to it. So here's what I want you to try doing. I want you to try in your mind, but I want you to do this physically as well. I want you to point to where everything is happening because, again, you are showing your listener how this works. So like the camera may be flowing through the car and just highlighting all of the different features and everything that's going on. So make sure to denote all of them, right? When the system detects an approaching rearward object, what's happening there? Well, obviously, you got a car that's parked and another one barreling right in at it. Okay, so you got an approaching rearward object. So that's your scene. Denote the scene. Then it sounds an alert for passengers. So what kind of images do you see there? Maybe the camera going inside, the vehicle, and then you hear the alert going off, and everybody's like, "Wait, what?" Just see the scene. Hopefully this doesn't happen at high speed. Thank you very much. But yes, we're going through this step by step, and you definitely need to bring people along with you during this process. This is why it's so important to have an emotional connection to it, a personal connection to it, and choose a character that has that because it's going to be so much easier to follow along when you do have that. So, when the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for the passengers. So, an alert from the passengers, separate idea, separate scene. Um, a warning pops up in the driver center cluster. So, whoop, all right, where is it? It's up front. So please point that out. Let me hear you taking me to these places. And most importantly, the doors remain locked. Um, the other thing is it'd be very easy to split these up into different sentences. We tend to treat ellipses as though they're a completely new sentence. I don't know why that is. I'm trying to figure out what in people's psychology is like, oh, dot dot dot, sentence over. Like this is all one big long series of events. So see each step as it happens and walk me through each one of those as it goes along. And it's the same thing with everything else. You are introducing this feature, you are showing us where it is, and then you are telling us specifically how somebody who's interacting with this is going to see it. So use your physical space, point to things, be animated, right? Like don't just sit there and read text. If you just sit there and read, it's going to sound like it. Now, does anybody have any questions or comments so far on the script itself? On anything we've talked about?
I know not so much a question of what we've talked about, but I know this is usually a good question for the client. How are we going to say the year?
Okay.
Does the client
that
want
is a good
this
question.
2019 or 2019?
That is a very good question. In the amount of time that I have been doing corporate narration, there has only ever been once where a client wanted me to say 2019. Usually they default to 2019. But yes, that is a good point. That is something that you should ask your client every single time. But I think you can go ahead and default just for an audition to 2019.
All right.
Technically, how should we approach the italicized line? They italicized that for a reason.
Yes, they did. They did. All right. Why does it look like they might have italicized it?
So that you know that it only works when the child lock feature has been activated.
Okay.
So it seems like it should have emphasis on. Well, I keep wanting to put like safe exit assist only works when the child lock feature has been activated, but I have to do that with just tone, right?
Right. Right. Yes. But no, that is definitely a key point. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, it is to denote that that system is only active when the child lock feature is on. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So that should be an important point. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. Make sure to link the two of those in that idea. That Safe Exit Assist, child lock feature, those two are connected. Good question. Anything else?
So it's italicized. Does that mean does it need to be does that whole sentence need to be billboarded in some way?
I don't think the whole sentence necessarily needs to be billboarded. It just needs to be very clear. Like it needs to be a point of the presentation that this is only active when this other thing's active too. So there's not going to be like a switch you flip or a button you push or a setting you turn to. right? It's connected to another system.
Yeah, I would think of it as like if you were somebody on the showroom floor and maybe you're a family has come in and you're opening the doors and you're showing them all this stuff. All the other copy, maybe you're pointing to things and kind of your attention is kind of half on the family, half on the car and the features. But then this one sentence, you're looking directly at the parents and you're not pointing at anything. You're saying, look, this is the feature, this is when it works. So and your tone's gonna shift slightly. You're not gonna say everything the same way. So yeah, if you're speaking directly, looking directly into somebody's eyes, I can see how your tone might change a little bit.
By the way, James, your gain is a little high. I can hear like
Okay.
a little static after your speech. Maybe that's because the gain is a little high.
It's on auto right now. How's this? I just turned auto off.
Okay, there's still some crackliness at the end, but it's not as
Okay.
bad. What I find really interesting, though, now
Hmm.
that we've had a little discussion on that particular section, it's technically an answer to a question. So, like, you're being asked, how do I turn it on? How do I get the child, or how do I get the feature working? Sorry, James, gonna have to mute you real quick. But yeah, it's like, how do I get this feature working? Well, Safe Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. Right? So you're answering that question, how do I turn it on? Right. Anything else about the script? Cool. I'm expecting perfection from all of you. All right. I believe that's a fair assessment. I mean, come on, seems about right. So, Alex, why don't you go ahead and take it away and show us how perfect it can be?
Let's give that a shot. And also, the 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer, Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers, a warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and, most importantly, the doors remain locked.
Okay, opening it up. What did y'all think?
I'm assuming you were doing hand gestures and stuff as well with your take? I could definitely tell.
They're a little bit
It
below
definitely
the camera line, sorry.
No, it's fine. I wasn't even looking at you when I was more listening than looking. So I could tell it was definitely there, and I do like that because I know that's what a lot of people push for is like do the gestures as you talk because it gets more emphasis of what you're trying to get across.
Awesome. I'm glad that worked.
So, you ordered your corporate demo, you haven't actually put it together yet.
Haven't done it yet.
Okay.
So this is training for it.
I was actually going to ask, have you done any actual like formal training for corporate work, for corporate narration?
I have done a couple of unpaid jobs for my corporate day job. And then I got an assessment from a pro who said, "Yeah, you're pretty much ready to do the demo."
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I would agree with that because your initial take was really solid. But it was a little quick.
Okay.
I want you to, because when it comes to corporate narration, when it comes to actually like teaching these things to people, you have to assume that people are like they're looking at things really slowly as you're walking through them, right? You know, it's like dealing with the old grandma who has to point at everything as she's like, following along what you're saying. Oh, which direction is it supposed to go? It it's that kind of thing. So just be really when you do this next take, I like where your head is at. I like where your emotions are at. Slow it down. Be really deliberate on pointing things out specifically, and I think you're really going to be onto something there. So whenever you're ready.
Okay. And also, the 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer, Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers. A warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and, most importantly, the doors remain locked.
All right, go ahead and give me a retake of that last line.
When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers. A warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and, most importantly, the doors remain locked.
Fantastic. All right, opening it up. What did y'all think?
I think it sounded pretty good. Sounded just as I was picturing in my head.
Awesome. I'm glad.
Mm-hmm. I can't find any critiques.
Anyone else? All right.
Here I am opening it up for people. Nobody wants to say a thing.
It's
Okay,
hard to find
um,
much wrong with this.
All right, Alex, it was horrible, and you really need to reconsider getting that demo. I really think
yeah.
you probably should get your money back.
I knew it was a waste. I knew it from the first day.
No. So here's the thing. Slowing it down, doing what you did, really, really helped. Again, because the whole idea is the information, the sights, the sounds, everything that's going on is key. That is the star of the show, and you are the one who's introducing people to that. So you really took that on. I loved that you really went around, you pointed at things, you did all of that, and it really helped out. Um, how were you feeling during that delivery? What was going through your mind? Were you seeing what was happening? Like what was your process in delivering that?
In that last take, the thing that I was really focused on was um envisioning what might be on the screen
Hmm.
and taking a moment with every line to allow for some focus in to happen for the listener, because they may be getting a whole new shot and they need to go, oh, the thing that I need to look at is right there. That's where it says Safe Exit Assist. Um, Once we got to that last line when the system detects, I was, I mean, I joked about it when you were, I did the, I was actually feeling like that. I was actually feeling like I could actually stand inside the car and point at the driver's console and
Hmm.
point at the windows.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking for that.
Well, the thing is again, it worked. You put yourself in the scene and you brought us there with you. That kind of personal connection to what's going on around you makes these corporate narrations so much easier to listen to and so much easier to follow along and makes so much more sense. So the fact that you were able to pull that out, did you have a character in mind? Were you somebody here? Like, or was it just like you were seeing specifically what was happening in front of you and really guiding them to see that?
In terms of voice style and general character going into it, I was going with what I suggested with the parent talking to another parent about safety features.
Hmm.
That character, I mean, I guess thinking about that character kind of faded out of my mind as I went, but hopefully I kept the feeling as I went. So, but yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
went into it with.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it was definitely the character tended more towards generic,
Okay.
but the overall delivery, because you were seeing what was going on, really, really helped out. Now, again, um, you don't necessarily have to put together a character for something like this. I'm not saying that that's a 100% requirement. In fact, nothing here is a 100% requirement. It's all tools that you can use to try to get there. Ultimately, Alex, you did because you saw the scene, you saw what was going on, you directed us there. that is ultimately the most important thing. That's like the key part of all of it.
All right.
So, good on you.
Thank you.
All right, moving it right along. Roddy, you are up.
Okay, hopefully there's not as much lag. Hmm. The 2019 model received another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer. Temporarily prevents the doors from being open when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe exit assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an appropriate object, it sounds an alarm for the passengers. A warning pops up on the rearward object. It sounds an alarm for the passengers. A warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and most importantly, the doors remain locked.
Okay. Was anybody else experiencing connection issues?
Yes.
Quite a lot.
Yep.
Roddy, I'm very sorry, man. I'm
Sorry,
so
Roddy.
sorry. I know you just recently moved into this new place. There's going to be bugs that you got to deal with. I'm really, really sorry about that. Um,
Okay.
the thing is, so I caught a fair decent amount of what it is that you put out, and here's what I can give you based on what I heard. Uh, I liked that you were getting really, really into it. It felt like you kept the idea of the character that you wanted really heavily in mind. Um, I would venture to say that it might have actually been
Mhm.
broaching just a little bit on too expressive for this particular genre. So it was a little too much of a character read versus um, walking us through the scene
Okay.
itself. Uh, Again, this is the only time I think I would say where that is actually a consideration, where you might be leaning into the character a little too hard. But that may be, again, that may land
Mhm.
you the audition. I'm not saying don't do it, but for this next take, first off, let's try just turning off the camera. Let's see if that saves you some bandwidth. And
Yeah.
secondly, I want you to walk us through what you're seeing on screen, what you're seeing around you specifically. So I want to hear you like pointing to what's going on and directing my attention to the things I need to pay attention to.
Gotcha. Headphones coming off. Yeah. Okay. So, the 2019 model received another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer: Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when a vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for the passengers. A warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and, most importantly, the doors remain locked. Headphones on.
Opening it up. What did y'all think?
Speechless. I like it.
Like I said, we were expecting perfection, and clearly you delivered it because nobody has any kind of critiques for you.
It was so beautiful. um, sorry, I was trying to fix something on my mic. That's why I couldn't talk. Sorry about that. But from that performance, it it's a lot better than the previous one. It's not as like what Michael said, you were kind of being too animated on the last attempt. But this one it was a lot more professional in a way. There's still
Gotcha.
energy into it, like more movement and all that. There's still that, but it's more professional, more corporate sounding. So overall, it's a lot better than your previous take.
Gotcha.
Anybody else?
I could be mixing takes because I'm still struggling with tech issues. I don't know if my crackling issue's fixed.
You're good.
It sounded a little more flat on that one, but it seemed, and I might be blending takes here, but I think it was still maybe a little too animated in some spots. Um,
Also, James, you're coming through beautifully. So
Okay,
your
thank you.
tech issues are behind you.
Good.
It just
Yeah.
felt like an
I think my
oxymoron.
camera is part of the issue with my bandwidth problems here too.
Okay, so then
Same.
I'm hardwired, so I think I'll
Yeah.
be okay with keeping.
Well,
keeping
I am
balance.
too, which is strange. I don't know
Oh, that is
why,
weird.
but mine's more of a CPU issue. Something's chewing up a bunch of
Oh,
resources.
got
I got to dig into that.
it. Okay. Well, so Roddy, you missed a few key things.
Okay.
I'm gonna agree with the TMC via workout here, who's talking through chat, who is my wife, um, in saying that I'd like to hear more of a minute on locked. So you see that there is an exclamation mark at the end of that sentence at the very end. You brought up your emphasis on locked, so it sounded like you were going to keep going, and most importantly, the doors remain locked. So you kind of like no, and it sounded like there might be more afterwards. If you're
Okay.
going to emphasize something in there, the real point of the sentence, at least the real point of that last section, is the doors remain locked.
Yeah.
You
Figured.
see that?
Mm-hmm.
So, also with the safe exit assist section, do you have a clear idea of what you want to do with that? The italicized section, excuse me.
Emphasize child lock and activated, because that lets the person know that that's the main, that's how it's going to be, that's how it works. Like, in order for safe exit assist to work, the child lock feature has been activated.
Okay. So just give me a line read on that one line. Let me hear you communicate that to me.
All right. Safe exit assist works when the child lock feature has been activated.
Okay. I'm gonna do a little bit of line ready stuff here with you, just to change your emphases a little bit, because you're
Okay.
getting there, but I think it just needs a little bit of tweaking.
Gotcha.
So clearly you know what you're informing somebody. When the child
Mhm.
safety lock feature is on, safe exit assist works, right?
Mm-hmm.
So safe exit assist works when the child lock feature has been activated.
Okay.
Do you see the emphases there? Safe exit assist works. So all of that is one thing. Safe exit assist works, that's your point, when the child
Mhm.
lock feature has been activated, right? A to B.
Got it.
So again, line read of just that line. Let's hear it.
Safe exit assist works when the child lock feature has been activated.
Okay. What did you guys think of that sentence? Did it sound more like it's communicating the point?
Yeah, it really did. It was pretty. That take is a bit better.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. So this is one of the few times where I think being a little bit line ready is actually going to help, because, yeah, you communicated the point of that sentence much, much better. So go ahead and give us a read from the top with those two changes. Again, that's remain locked and the line read we just did.
Okay. headphones off. It's first for the manufacturer, Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are locked. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for the passengers. A warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and, most importantly, the doors remain locked.
Yeah, you're that read was mostly swallowed up by the Matrix.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but yeah.
Eh,
It's funny because your last read came through perfectly fine. Zero issues whatsoever. And that one was kind of like, yeah, you lost us a little bit there. Let's see. Yeah, did any of you hear anything in particular that stuck out to you guys?
From what we could hear, I noticed just two things. This one could have been caused by the lag, but I heard uh, v- temporarily prevents doors from being opened when other vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are locked. It is very specifically supposed to be unlocked there.
mhm.
If that was lag and you said unlocked, then that's great. Ignore that. The other one is at the very end. Most importantly, the doors remain locked. We wanted to move the emphasis onto remain, and
Right.
you very, very much did that. You said, and most importantly, the doors remain locked. It was a little bit of an overcorrection, I think.
Yeah.
So, level that out a bit. The doors remain locked. Make it a little hill, not a giant jump.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, Carissa brings up a good point. Go overboard so you can pull it back. I think now what we need to do is we need to start the process of pulling you back. So yeah, the doors remain locked.
Right.
Yeah, because you didn't bring the emphasis down from locked at all. You just hit remain harder than locked. So it wasn't the doors remain locked. It was the
Mhm.
doors remain locked.
Hi
Just
there.
a little bit angry.
I just came back from dinner. I had to clean up like
No
a
worries.
lot.
No worries.
Right.
So the script
And I
is in the
put
weekly scripts
way
channel.
too much salt in my meal, so yeah, that's also a factor.
You're not getting out of this locked car. Jeebus. All right. Maybe not that extreme, but we definitely want to bring that down a little bit there, Roddy. So
Right.
the doors
Right.
remain locked. Again, it's assurance. You're not, this is not like, okay, you're stuck, right? Like this is no longer a car, this is a coffin. No, it's more like it's a safety feature, right? You want to assure that whoever's listening to you, they're going to be safe.
Yeah, like we're going back to that New York taxi. The New York
Yeah,
taxi
the
read.
taxi.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
thinking the same thing.
the big shot with the secret script.
Yep.
Yeah, no, we're not there. You're not trapping somebody in. It's like now you can't leave. This isn't one of those.
You better
We're
buckle
going
up.
to Atlanta. Welcome to the Uber straight to hell. No, uh, this is what we want to do. Again, you want to be assuring. You are the expert here. So, and most importantly,
Mhm.
the
Right.
doors remain locked. Right.
Mhm.
So be assured. Don't be threatening. There's a fine line.
Okay. All right, we're good.
Yeah. Whenever you're ready from the top.
All right. Headphones off. Please don't lag. All right. The 2019 model received another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer: Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approach, when the system det- when the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert. An alert. When the system detects an approaching rearward
From the
object,
top.
it
Just
sounds an
restart.
alert. I keep thinking alarm.
Can you hear me?
When the system detects an
Nope.
approaching rearward
Headphones are still
object,
off.
it sounds an alert for the passenger. Most importantly, the doors remain locked.
Roddy, can you hear me?
Yes.
I think you just need to take it from the top again.
Yeah. That was a pattern break. Agreed.
Pattern break. We
Yeah,
might
you
need
got
to
the
do
giggles
that.
in the middle there.
We might need to do
Yeah.
that.
All right. No, like, nah, I'll need. I got it. I got it.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So I'm assuming great things from you right now.
Yeah. Hmm. The 2019 model received freaking phone. Yeah. The 2019 model received another advanced safety feature, and this feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when a vehicle. The 2019 model received another advanced safety feature and a first for the temporarily prevents. Yeah. Slow down. B. Let me take a break real quick. All right. The 2019 model received another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer. Prevents doors from being open. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened with.
Roddy, are you there? Roddy, can you hear me? Hey, Roddy.
Now, yep.
Roddy.
Headphones on.
Okay. Breathe.
Mhm.
Breathe. Your character is now a pirate. Give me the one eye, give me the hook for a hand, everything. You're now a pirate. Go for it. Turn it up to 11.
Okay. Hold up. All right. Now hear me, ye matey. The 2019 model refers. The 2019 model received another advanced safety feature and a first of the manufacturer: Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors be unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works with a child detects another when the system detects an approaching rearward object pops up on the driver's center cluster, and most importantly, the door remains locked. Fuck. All right.
All right. Yeah, I swear. I think it would be really funny if we just took all of the times where your sound cut out and just made those bleeps, so it sounds like we're just unnecessarily editing you from saying really horrendous stuff. But
Mhm.
all right. Giggles out. You got through it okay?
Yes, we're good. We're good.
Okay. All right. You've got this. You can do this. Just take a deep breath from the top. Go for it.
We do not need a Marilyn Monroe pattern break. All right, headphones off. Headphones off. Yeah. The 2019 model received another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer: Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are locked. Even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for the passengers. A warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and, most importantly, the doors remain locked.
I think we got that whole thing quickly before he loses connection again. What did y'all think?
That was
Best one
a
so far.
lot better.
Very smooth.
I think after you got the initial hiccups out of the way and you got through it a few times, it definitely came out that you were more familiar with it and were able to, as a result, able to give it out more naturally.
Right. What was how
Yeah,
that was the
job well
lag?
done.
How that was the lag?
It
No
wasn't
lag
bad this
whatsoever,
time.
actually.
Yeah,
That
that
Okay.
particular delivery, zero lag.
Okay. Okay, that's good.
Honestly, if we needed another pattern break, I was going. No, you know what? I'm going to save. We're going to do a different character the next time somebody needs a pattern break. So, we'll.
no spoilers.
No
No
spoilers.
spoilers.
Roddy, I might want to recommend for you that you look into some diction techniques. I think just occasionally you stumble upon a word that just gets caught up in your mouth. I don't think I've heard you say rearward properly in all of these takes. And it's kind of a weird one. You don't see it very often, and the RWA can be really awkward. But like warming up your mouth properly and practicing some of those odd combinations can really help out.
It just sounds like it's all together.
Yeah, it kind of sounded like rearward. Rearward. Not quite that bad, but
Yeah, right.
but you know, it just sounded a little bit jumbled. I think having a little bit of diction training will really help you out.
Got it.
Yes, and one more thing. I mean, I'm not going to harp on you too much about this, but it would be something really to watch closely. Is every single time you have said the 2019 model received, not receives.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
That's just something unconscious. It can be fixed.
So, just watch out for it. But other than those little hiccups, you did a fantastic job, and I think we're okay to move on. All right, James, you're up.
You got this, James. Good job, Roddy.
Thank you.
James, you there?
I pulled the noob move and kept myself muted.
Oh no!
I only got the
pulled a
first
Richard.
paragraph. I only got the first paragraph out.
Pulled a Richard.
I was about to say he was just getting in the zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just call that a we'll
We're
call
in
that
the
a neutral.
zone. Auto zone.
All right. This time, I'm sorry that we missed the greatest read we've never heard, but this
That's
time
right.
try to give us a really good one.
It must have been so beautiful.
The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer, Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened, whether This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers. A warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and most importantly, the doors remain locked.
Okay, opening it up. What did you all think?
That was pretty good. The only one critique I have is the pauses were a little long on the ellipses. If it's all supposed to be one sentence, then I think those pauses can be tightened up.
Okay.
I can tell that the previous mess up flustered you. Whether it's conscious or subconscious, it definitely affected this read. 'Cause
Okay.
it
How so?
sounded like you had something on your mind.
All right.
For this next one, control your pace a little bit more, just a tad bit slower. And there was something else that I had, but I can't really put it together. Well, that one's gone with the wind. So why don't you try just slowing it down and being real intentional with everything that you're saying?
Sure. The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer, Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers, a warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and most importantly, the doors remain locked.
Yeah, that minor slowdown really helped it out. Now I know you have kind of an unfair advantage because for your day job you tend to play the SME quite a bit.
Right.
So I remember you mentioning that, and it definitely shows that you've got quite a bit of comfort and experience instructing people in things that you may not be super familiar with yourself. So
Yeah, my official title is technical trainer. So, yeah. There's that.
yeah. So just as a note for everybody, James is cheating. You know,
I bring it up every
Roddy, he
practice.
stole your thunder.
I bring it up every practice, by the way.
but yeah, no, I think just controlling the pace, it really fixed up everything else that I had in mind. I'm gonna open it up to see if
Okay.
anybody had any critiques I may have missed, something that stuck out to them, anything like that.
I wanted to just say, like, boy, if Google needed a new voice for their describing of things, that's it. That's the voice right there.
I appreciate it.
That actually kind of fits into if I absolutely had to come up with a criticism for that, because it was a very clean read. I would say that it didn't give me the character that cares at all about safety. This was the
Okay.
person who knows the technical stuff and is probably the expert on the technical stuff, but is not there to inform someone about safety. And so I think depending on context, that may be preferred, or it may be, we could throw away all of that caring about safety stuff. We just want someone to read the words and make sure it's clear. But if Google needs someone to explain something to just read a video, they're going to use AI, and having that bit of caring is what we can bring that AI currently can't. And so I think that little bit of character could add the finishing touch to your read. Just my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna second that actually. I think I'd like to hear a lot more of your own personal care of the safety of the people you're talking to.
The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer, Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers. A warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and most importantly, the doors remain locked.
Okay. Um, just so I can pick your brain a little bit, what did you do to put yourself in that mindset?
I went from being the guy that designed it to I am just a dad talking to another dad. I am, talking to somebody else who has kids, and they're like, "Well, why did you get this one?" So it's more of a, obviously with the softer tone, it's more of, I'm speaking to you as a dad. This is why you want this feature.
Okay. So, how many of you heard that?
In the last line, I heard a little bit of that.
Mhm.
Sorry, specifically the "and most importantly, the doors remain locked." That's why I heard that coming through a bit. I didn't hear it quite as much before then,
Okay.
but I did hear it there.
Yeah, I was gonna say again. It was a James. You've got good technical reads. Like let's just get that out of the way. You're doing fantastic on that. But yeah, that emotion. I'm gonna echo what Alex said here. It really came out more at the end.
Okay.
It was less about like an overall tone of hey, this is really important, and more of like okay, we're leading up to the important part, and bam, here's the important part.
Gotcha.
So humor me. One more
One
time.
more from the top.
One more from the top.
All right. The 2019 model The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer, Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers. A warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and most importantly, the doors remain locked.
I'm pleased with that read. What did you all think?
It's a lot better compared to the last take.
Yes, very, very
Thank you.
nice.
Yeah, I think how you softened up the consonant, especially the way you said locked and read it in a soft way, that really added to the warmth and caring tone of the script.
Yeah. Did you change your approach and your mindset at all? And if you did, what did you do?
I don't think I changed it. I think I wasn't quite there on the previous read.
Okay.
Maybe it took me a little bit to get into it, and then once my mindset was there, it was easier to get back to it.
Okay. Okay. Well, again, um, yeah, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I really think you did a great job with it this
Thanks.
time. You have a good technical read from before, and you have a much more nuanced character read this time. So if you did offer those two as auditions, I think you'd show them a really great range of what they could get out of you. So
Noted.
overall,
Thank you.
fantastic. Moving right along. Up next is Justin.
Okay. The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer, Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers. A warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and most importantly, the doors remain locked.
Okay, opening it up. What are your thoughts?
I definitely could tell that there is a little bit of personality there. I think there could be a slight amount more, but I like what's there already.
Yeah, the first half sounded a touch reedy, but then I think you got more into it, kind of like with my second to last. Like I kind of landed on it the last paragraph. You hit it a little earlier, but I think I'd need to hear another one to get a full idea. Were you going for the I know you had talked about the kind of the James Bond Q character. Was that the take you were going with this?
Yeah, a little bit. I wanted
Okay.
to sound like really proud of what I'm saying, even to the even to the point of like I'm a big shot, arrogant type of attitude.
Yeah, it definitely smoothed out at the end, and it may just be unfamiliarity with the words, because it may not be written the way that you talk, so it may have been a little, uh, I'm not sure what I guess not really staccato, but it didn't flow. Like I said, the first little bit just sounded a touch reedy, I mean, not like robotic or anything, but, it definitely smoothed out and got more of that technical knowledge person at the end.
Okay.
I actually think that staccato describes it really well. Listening to the difference between your first two paragraphs and how you're talking now, responding to questions, you're so much smoother talking naturally. You don't have these pauses between your words where it might be the 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature. Um, you talk so much more smoothly when you're just speaking. I think bringing a bit of that casual nature into this is going to help make it sound um, more like you care about what you're saying rather than you're just reading it off a page.
Okay.
I think that's a pretty solid feedback. Why don't you give us another read whenever you're ready?
Okay. The 2019 model receives the 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer, Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers. A warning pops up on the driver center cluster, and most importantly, the doors remain locked.
Okay. What are your thoughts on that one?
You definitely smoothed it out. There were a couple of slight hiccups, which I can understand. Sometimes it's when one word ends on a vowel and the next one starts on a vowel. You want to make sure that there's separation there. So I can definitely get that. It makes it better for clarity, but you smoothed it out a lot, and I think you improved really, really well.
Which part where the vowel ends and starts with a vowel again?
One moment. I think it was even when the doors are unlocked, there's a little bit of a sort of just almost a guttural stop between there. Are unlocked.
Oh,
Vehicle is approaching. It's not a major thing. I'm mostly saying you did really well at smoothing it out, and those parts where you did put the cuts are not bad because they help with clarity.
okay.
Anything else? Any other thoughts? Okay, I guess to tie it all up. Um. Oh wait, we did. With somebody gonna say something? No. Okay. So, ultimately, I think the main thing that kind of that definitely tripped you up, which was of course addressed by Alex here, was how smooth it was. Smoothing it out always makes it seem like you're much more casual, much more approachable, and a much easier to listen to. It makes for a much easier to listen to read altogether, and you definitely fixed that up with the second read. I'm pretty happy with where your delivery is. Unless somebody has some direction, I think we're pretty safe to move on. Okay. Well, there you go. You stunned them.
I do have a general question.
Hmm.
We're doing an explainer video. Is there a big difference between explainers and commercial reads?
Explainers are kind of more like in line with like with the instructional videos and training videos. It's right in the title. They're just like explaining how to do something or what something is.
So are you talking about like your general approach, or in what way do you mean?
I just feel like a lot of what we discuss for commercial reads can very much apply in an explainer video. So I'm just wondering if there were anything like distinctly different that you would do on an explainer versus a commercial.
Well, the main difference between the two in terms of approach is going to be you're going to have to prepare yourself for a much longer read session with a with corporate narration. But
Mm,
ultimately, in terms of, so I hope that you see that in terms of every script that we work with, it's always super, super important that we start off by making sure we know what we're even talking about in the first place. So all of those approaches are going to be the exact same. You're going to figure out specifically what your message is and what are and who are you who's going to be talking about this? Why is this important to you? Why are you explaining this thing? Those kinds of things are always incredibly important to pin down in any script you approach. Those are all universal. The main difference between a with the main difference between corporate narration and commercial narration is that it's not in the characters, it's in the amount of time and in the content of the message. So in corporate narration, the text is king. It is key. It is 100% the only thing that you should be leaning into. Where in commercial work, there is some room for a little bit of play, a little bit of ad libbing here or there to enhance the message. You wouldn't want to do that here. Most of the things that you'd probably be looking at as differences are very subtle, but they are definitive. So I would say that if you're going to do corporate narration, you should definitely prepare yourself for longer read sessions and for being really, really focused on approaching the script as somebody who knows what it is they're talking about, is confident in that thing, and can deliver for an extended period of time. Does that help out? Does that help differentiate it a little bit more?
So it sounds like with corporate, there's less room for ad lib, and they are generally much longer than commercial narration. So
That is correct.
you have to be prepared for reading for a longer time period of
Indeed.
time.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of the sessions that I have done have been hour and a half to 2 hours at a time for corporate narration. So it can be a lot of reading.
Got it.
And my wife
Cool.
can tell you that on the days where I had to do that, I didn't say a thing afterwards. I got home, I shut up. I've done 2 hours of straight talking. I don't need to keep going. But yeah, it is something to prep for. So
Cool. Thank you.
no problem. All right, my turn. So, the 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer: Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers, a warning pops up in the driver center cluster, and, most importantly, the doors remain locked. Opening it up.
That actually was pretty good. I was picturing we're still going for like a professional kind of reading, right?
For the most
Like a
part,
more
yeah.
okay. So yeah, that's what I was getting out of it. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's like the types of voices that you hear on those car commercials that they sound a bit more like for the expensive cars, like Bugatti and all that, or not Bugatti, but like high end cars. That voice you hear, the one that is very smooth, a bit monotone, or not flat, but well, kind of flat. Basically, what I'm trying to say is it sounded more corporate, like
Okay.
more professional and all that. So if that's what we were going for, that was pretty good.
Anybody else? Feedback, changes, anything?
Yeah, what he said. You totally got the tone down right, you know, you're just the read was just flawless. You're just a perfect guy for the read.
Yeah, I only caught the last half, but it sounded very much um, like an e-learning module. Kind of. It was a flat read, but it was very informational. Um, but I guess in that sense, if you wanted to go for something that had a little bit more of like what Alexander had said for mine, with a little more uh, focus on the safety portion of it. Then you could give, kind of like how you had directed me, something more along that lines. But
Okay.
this read was definitely more of an informational e-learning type, that style read.
Yeah, you sound like you've done something like this before, maybe like once or twice. Uh, uh, you could
Have you done
probably.
voiceover before?
I believe that you could breathe a little more life into this while keeping it in the realm of professional corporate.
Okay. All right. I will do that. Anybody else? Okay. Oh, yeah. The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer: Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers, a warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and, most importantly, the doors remain locked.
Okay. Second paragraph.
hmm
How do you feel about the door being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind?
Definitely don't want that. Don't want the doors being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind.
In some of the reads that I've heard tonight, possibly my own included, but I wasn't really hearing it so much as speaking it. It sounded like a vehicle approaching from behind was an interesting thing. Like the doors won't open when a vehicle's approaching from behind. I know that we're not trying to
Okay.
panic on the mic here, but I
Okay.
think maybe bringing that might bring up the idea of this is for your safety, because right now there's no threat to our safety.
Okay. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Okay. So, the 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer: Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers, a warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and, most importantly, the doors remain locked.
It was a subtle change, and it worked. I liked it.
Yeah, I agree.
I saw you on mute, Justin.
I I think it was subtle to the point where I couldn't hear the difference. I mean they're all three reads were great, but at the same time I felt you didn't change much in all three reads. They all sounded the same.
Okay. Okay. Pattern break. I don't think it's to that point yet.
Do it as a T-Rex.
Do it as a
Uh-oh.
valley girl.
As-
Do it as a Valley girl driving the car you're showing off.
In
And
a
chew gum.
T-Rex costume.
I want to hear you chewing the gum. Just to give you a little something fun.
do we want to see if I can make the change before the pattern break, or do we want to just skip right to the pattern break?
Do whatever feels right for you.
Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can make that change. Let me see if I can make enough of a change. Yes, I know we're calling for the, but not yet. I'm a professional. I'm going to do this. The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer: Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers, a warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and, most importantly, the doors remain locked. All right, Justin, was that enough?
It was subtle, but I think I heard it this time. I definitely heard
Okay.
the caring dad make sure you follow my instructions and make sure I don't know, you tie your shoelaces, that kind of
Brush your
fatherly.
teeth and floss.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely heard it this time. It's subtle, but I heard it this time.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? Yes. Thank you, Alex.
I think we can move on.
I'm
Agreed.
would
I
agree.
was trying so hard to resist the urge to say pattern break just for funsies, but it's like, what purpose does that serve, really?
Well, we could do that afterwards if you really want to hear that. I'll do the Valley Girl read afterwards.
Yes, entertain the
I think we need to do an alternate stream that's just off characters.
Completely off kilter, just
Yeah,
wild,
just
off
for
the
fun.
walls, kind of just do whatever we want
Or
to.
just
Yeah,
animation
Can
reads and
anybody here do a Donald Duck voice? I would love to hear somebody try to do
I
an
cannot.
incredibly serious read of this as Donald Duck.
That's probably the best I could do.
Anyway, moving right along, Sonic, you're up next.
All right. Let's see what I got. The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer. Safe Exit Assist. I'm gonna try that one again. I fumbled at that sentence there. Sorry at the end. That I did the thing. Oops. Anyway. The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer. Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers. A warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and, most importantly, the doors remain locked.
Okay. So, I'm assuming that corporate narration isn't necessarily in your wheelhouse. It's not something you really want to do, right?
I was trying to think of more like he's on stage presenting to a crowd, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that is not the approach I would say is the right one for this one because it sounded incredibly detached and you were throwing emphases in places where it really didn't need to be. It was very scattered and it was very difficult to follow along with. So, I would say bring that down. Bring it down. Bring it more intimate. If you are explaining all of the features to somebody, talk to a single person. It's you and one other individual.
Okay.
Don't just talk to a crowd. It's very easy to be entirely emotionally disconnected from a crowd. Because at that point, who cares? Just be loud and talk about the things you want to, right? Like it's not engaging. Yeah, game show host time, exactly. No, for this one, I want this to be important to you. Like, it really needs to be like, hey, I worked on this. Like the safe exit assist, it's not going to be in every model of vehicle because I put it in there. I developed this.
Okay.
Right? So I want to hear that personal. Well, you certainly pattern broke my thought process there, Alex. Thank you.
Just call him the pattern breaker.
Yeah, seriously. No, but for this one, I want to hear you like I want to hear you be really personally connected with what's happening. Like you put this together because you knew somebody who got really seriously hurt because they didn't have this feature or something. I don't know. Choose a character, but choose somebody and an individual you're talking to.
I think okay. I think I got something for that.
All right. I'm down to hear it whenever.
The 2019 model receives another advanced The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer: Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents the doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward obstacle, or when the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alarm for passengers. A warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and most importantly, the doors remain locked.
You want to just
Am I
take that last
classy?
paragraph again?
Yeah, sure.
I think one minor criticism that I had, like when you first said safe assist,
Safe Exit Assist, yeah. It's kinda...
you put it almost seems like you're like putting like a like a question mark in between like, safe exit assist. I don't know, safe.
You know, I've noticed that with when I'm like almost like if I was saying it like in a comma. It's like I kind of do that upward inflection. I think I've actually been told here that I do that. And I actually have caught myself doing that. I'm like, nope, I gotta go back and redo that. Because it does
Oh,
sound like
so
a
I wasn't the
question.
only one who
I
caught
don't
it.
notice it until afterwards, but if other people say it, then yeah.
Yeah, so here's the thing. It sounds like you're still trying to sell us on this feature. It sounds like what you're trying to do is make this feature sound impressive, like, you know, hey, it's something that you should probably add on as a package, right? But that's not the case. You're not trying to sell anybody on this. This is not a sales script. And the only time you'll ever actually have to deal with okay, brings up another thing. The only time you're ever going to do anything sales related when it comes to voice work is call centers. If you are working in a call center, then you have a sales script because then you're actually trying to sell somebody on something. No, there's that and local car commercials. So it's like, come on down to Buckeye Ford for Ford Toyota or for Ford Truckathon or something like that. That's kind of more hard sales. But this particular script here, this feature is included. Whenever you buy the car, you get the Safe Exit Assist. It's included. You're not trying to sell anybody on it. What you're trying to do is you're trying to instruct people. This is what it does. This is why it's important. Right? It's not you should buy this thing because it is shiny and new and beautiful and cool. No, this is important and you need to know about it.
I kind of was thinking I was doing that, but I guess from the sound of it, it didn't sound like I was going there.
No, because so here's some of the things that have been taking away from that. The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer. You hit "and" really hard right there. And sounds salesy. And if you act now, you can get 28 more of them. I don't know, like, the idea here is you want to be really focused on your message, not on sounds. So the 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature being, or another advanced safety feature being your point, which is, another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer. And literally is or like almost zero importance in that sentence. It just connects that it's another advanced safety feature and first for the manufacturer. Those two things go hand in hand.
So maybe instead of putting the emphasis on "and," it should be first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either that or another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer. Because the first for the manufacturer, that's kind of a cool thing, right? That's a fun little factoid. But the most important thing is that it's another advanced safety feature. If you thought
Could I read that first sentence?
Please.
Okay. The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer: Safe Exit Assist.
Yeah, Safe Exit Assist. Put that all together. Safe Exit Assist.
Yeah, I don't know why my brain like instinctively was like, comma, then say the rest of it.
Well, then if you want to, all you need to do is move the comma. So move the comma from
Yes.
safe to exit. So after exit. So safe exit assist.
Oh, okay.
So if you naturally tend to put that there, just move it.
Okay.
So the
Okay,
29 I like so now you've overemphasized the different points that you were supposed to hit. Bring those emphases down. So like bring the top of your emotional range down a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, but just go with that first sentence. I want to hear you do it.
The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer. Safe exit assist.
Okay. Are you using your body when you're saying those things?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. I want you to give each one of those an actual thing, like another advanced safety feature first for the manufacturer, like one or the other, right? Or another advanced safety feature and a first, or list them off. I want to hear you use your body a little bit more because it seems like now you're kind of hitching yourself and you really like dropped your emotional emphasis right there because I told you to keep it a little bit, tucked in, and you just cut the bottom out of it.
Okay. Let's see. The 2019 model receives another advanced safety. Hold on. The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer. Safe exit assist.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you starting to feel the emphases going where they're supposed to be? Are you starting to feel that a
Yeah.
little bit more? Yeah, that was much cleaner. So just be careful of the words. Another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer. Safe exit assist. I like where you're going with the emotional range. Your pace is good, so keep that where it is. And let's hear a full delivery.
Okay. The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer.
I'm going to stop you right there.
That
You
I
hit
I
end.
kn- Yep.
You hit
I
end now.
I did the editing thing.
You're doing it right now. Stop. No. Violating the Dan rule. Bad. Look, if you noticed it, cool. If somebody's stopping you, agree with them. Right? You don't have to just agree with them internally. You know you need to change it, so let's change it. Right? Another advanced safety feature, first for the manufacturer. Those are the most important parts.
The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer. Safe exit assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe exit assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for the passengers, and a warning pops up on the driver's center cluster. And most importantly, the doors remain locked.
Okay, I'm going to open it up. What did you all think of that delivery?
You put emphasis in unconventional places. On the even when the doors are locked, you emphasized even. I mean, now, damn, now I'm doing it. but, but yeah, on the
Like it's the wrong inflection on even. Even, even, because that's different.
Well, I don't disagree with you, Roddy, there. I think the thing is again, we don't want to tell you what you shouldn't do because your mind's going to be focused on that. Um, let's direct you towards what you should do.
right.
Right? Let's hit the things that need the emphasis. And we did that with the first sentence. So you saw where the emphases went there. Now we're going to talk about it for the second sentence. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind. So this feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind. Right? So that whole section temporarily prevents doors from being opened. That's what it does. Why? Well, it's because it does that when another vehicle is approaching from behind. Now, even doesn't need any emphasis. It doesn't whatsoever. The emphasis should be in unlocked. Because remember, this activates even when the doors are unlocked.
Okay.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Right? So it works even though the driver has decided to unlock all doors.
Gotcha.
So it's not even when the doors are unlocked, it's even when the doors are unlocked.
Especially the un part.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. So Safe Exit Assist works because we've already introduced Safe Exit Assist. We've talked about it enough. It's about how it works. So it works when the child lock feature has been activated. Child lock feature activated. That's your whole string of key important terms. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. A good question coming from Twitch right now. What kind of emotional connection do you currently have with the script?
I'm kind of trying to picture it as actually going into a little bit of Marvel, because I'm imagining the parachute that Tony puts into the Spider-Man suit because of what happened to Rhodey in Civil War when he didn't have it.
Okay, so somebody learning from their mistakes. Okay. Yeah, I can see that working.
I think that was the second time I did it when you first described it to be more personal.
Yeah.
I think that came off as more of the salesman thing.
Yeah. I think just, again, you got to be really careful where you're throwing your emphases, because right now they're kind of randomly assigned or semi-randomly assigned, and you're treating it more like a salesy thing in that sense. So
Yeah.
this is why it's really important to know exactly what it is you're trying to accomplish with not only every sentence, but where your main emphases and where the main goal of what you're trying to say lies. So I did a lot of line reading out here with you. I really don't necessarily like going to that, but I think it's just important sometimes to highlight specifically like where the most important key features are, some things to pay attention to, and how to approach the script a little bit differently. So what I want you to do is your character works for this vehicle manufacturer. It doesn't matter which one. Choose one.
Mhm.
They work for that manufacturer, okay? And you had a friend who had one of these vehicles before, and because they had the car doors open, they were hit from behind, and not only did all their stuff go flying out of the open doors, but they did as well, and they got hurt because of it.
Okay.
Now, because of this, they don't have to worry about everything going flying everywhere, including themselves. They're now not only encased inside the car, but also encased inside all of the airbags that are meant to really keep them safe in the car, right? So it's an actual safety feature for them. So have that direct connection with it. And whenever you think you're there, please give us a read.
The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer: Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents the door from being opened when another vehicle is approached from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers. A warning pops up and the driver center cluster. And most importantly, the doors remain locked.
All right. What did y'all think of that one?
This was definitely by far the best read I've heard. The thing that I definitely noticed is that that's been sticking out is just the emphasis. It sounded like Jeff Goldblum has been reading it this whole time, and
I know this
it,
is gonna sound. Oh, go on.
what I was going to say, the thing that also really helped is that you kind of just brought the volume and intensity of all of it way, way, way down to where it really needed to be. Like just talking to just one person, as opposed to this, and even when the doors are unlocked, and it's that sort of salesy, trying to figure out what you're talking about. This felt like you were just like, hey, so here's this interesting feature, and we're talking about this safe exit assist because this happened to my friend, and I'm going to tell you about it. And it was just a quieter, more intimate, talking, conversational read, and like that's definitely the direction it needs to go. And I think you could even go much further with it, but this was by far the best.
I actually did do the thing where I took it into a different document and actually started to bold the words that it sounded like I needed emphasized.
Yes.
Although I'm not sure if I did the locked part of unlocked. I think I did just the UN part of that.
Either way, again, everybody's approach is
Yeah.
going to be slightly different, particularly
Yeah,
how
it's
they
fine.
did it. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. This was a massive change from your previous read. It was a major change from your previous read. Did you personally feel a difference when you were reading it aloud?
Mm-hmm. Especially towards the end, where it's like the doors remained locked.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because I was thinking of like, if I'm someone who has a friend who got injured because the doors were unlocked, about my thought process when building this new device is, if only the doors were locked, he might have. I gotta make something to prevent that.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is you gave yourself that personal connection to it, which definitely added a new dimension to your read. But the thing is because you were more focused on your message versus trying to sell it, it came off so much cleaner. That was a really solid read.
I do think I was sort of selling it a little bit, but in a different manner. Where it's not about making the money. It's about this needs to be in the vehicles because I want to prevent this from happening again.
Right, and that is an emotional connection to the read. Again, sales is you need to buy this thing. An emotional connection is this thing is important. I'm glad you felt that difference. It definitely
it was
came through in your performance.
It definitely felt a lot different when I was able to get that switch off of the hey, let's sell this.
Yeah, it sounded different. It really did. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with that. I'm good to move on unless somebody else here would like to hear another take of it from them. Yeah, that's what I figured. I think you did an absolutely fantastic job, Sonic. So, way to go. You really should pat yourself on the back about this one.
Yeah, I do have to head out, but thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, man. Take it easy. All right, Josh, you're up.
Alrighty. Hold on just 1 second. I have to
No problem.
arrange my computer real quick. I'm recording on Audacity so I could see what it sounds like when I'm not in the call. Sorry, just 1 quick second. Okay, hold on. Alright, there we go. The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer, Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers. A warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and, most importantly, the doors remain locked.
Okay, opening it up. What did you all think?
It's giving fifth grader reading a page from a history textbook aloud to the class. Popcorn, Jake. Yeah, what I'm saying is it could be better.
I thought it was very sanitary. It was clear. It was proper. A little. I think that fifth grader comment is that it maybe had a soft tone. It rather than sounding like I am the expert in this. It sounded like, oh, it kind of has some of this and some of this. So I think firming it up a bit, um, that's going to help you a lot. And yeah, it sounded very sanitary to me. It was very safe for you. I think that you could bring more character into it.
All right.
Heyo, just getting to talking now. Um, so I would say you had a very light tone. Alexander already pointed it out, I feel like you were very focused on sounding nice, and I really want this to sound nice when it comes out of my mouth. But you weren't really focused on the situation you're in, why are you saying it, and all the common acting questions you kind of need to have established before you go into it. The other thing I'll say though, and Alex brought it up before, this kind of content is going to go the way of AI unless voice actors, and by that I mean us, bring a lot to the table. And so, whereas before, in the past, even a few years ago, it would be okay to do a read like this and get skate by on sounding nice, and your voice sounds nice and pleasant to listen to. Um, we're going to seriously need to get after it because if you sound just the way an AI would say it, and you don't really bring a lot of emotional intent, or you don't bring a lot of variation or enliven the script in any way, there will be no reason to use us because we sound just as good as something that is, 10 times cheaper. So I just wanted to really bring that point to the forefront because Alexander brought it up before. And I say this with full self awareness, like myself, every voice actor out there, especially for this kind of content, is going to need to step up their game. So I'll just leave it at that.
All right. I think I'm gonna try and do more energy, and not
Well,
energy, but like kind of uh raise up the tone a bit and add a bit of movement to
okay,
it.
yes. So tone, movement, all good stuff.
Okay.
But here's the thing: you need to give yourself a story. You need to give yourself a reason to care about what you're saying.
Add context to it, basically,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. No,
Okay.
I think that's going to be more important than anything else because once you have a purpose for communicating what you're trying to communicate, once you feel that connection, then actually reading it is going to become much, or not just reading it, sorry, delivering it, giving it that
Okay.
emotional tint that it needs is going to be much easier.
Okay.
So again, you worked on this, right? You were the engineer who developed the safe exit assist because you knew somebody whose life could have been radically altered had they had this.
Okay.
Just give that a try. Let's see what it does to your read. Go for it.
Okay. The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature and a first for the manufacturer: Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers. A warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and, most importantly, the doors remain locked.
Okay. What did y'all think of that read?
Better, much better, but I
Yeah.
feel like when you get to the part where it says the door, and most importantly, the doors remain locked, Should be the moment where you land the plane. Here is the difference between what all the other cars have, and just like this is like the bottom line. This is what the safe exit assist does. And most importantly, blah 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 blah.
Okay.
Make that known.
Did it feel different to you though?
Are you?
Yes, it did.
Yes,
It
to
was
you.
much.
No. I'm sorry. I meant for Josh.
Oops, sorry.
It's all right.
Oh
It's
yeah.
all right.
In my opinion, I think I added a bit more energy and I added movements. I think that made it completely different.
Okay, but did you feel an emotional connection? Were you talking to somebody? Were you
Oh
considering
yeah.
what was going on?
Yeah, I was pretending I'm like in a dealership, I guess,
Okay.
or something like that, and I'm talking to a customer and I'm telling them, "Hey, this is what this car has now, and my friend, something happened to him when he didn't have this feature, so we added, so kind of like a proposing, not an idea, but like putting it out there, like, hey, this car has this feature now, so you could, so kind of like pointing it out, I guess."
Okay. So one thing that I want you to change, and also Isengard, you're in the right place. Don't worry about it. The link was supposed to bring you here. But one thing that I really want you to do when it comes to approaching this next read, okay? Don't say I guess. Don't approach your choices with I guess. Make a solid choice. So instead of I'm in a dealership, I guess, you're in a dealership. You're
Yeah.
standing in front of the car. And they're asking you, okay, tell me about some of the other safety features that are new. Why should I get the 2019 model versus the 2016 model, which is $20,000 cheaper? I don't know. Again, they're asking you some kind of question. They want to know the difference. So what you need to let them know is that this feature is now standard, and this is what it does and how it works.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Let's hear it.
But keep the same energy and tone, right? Or
Well, again, so this is um when you say energy, what specifically do you mean?
like how can I explain it? Like a very excited kind of uh an excited person, or
Okay. Some
not,
excitement in
well,
this is okay, but I think more just enthusiasm. Like, yeah, this is really fun to talk about. This is actually really
oh,
important to talk about. Not, hey, you really got to check this out. Right? We don't want to go to there. We don't want to go there because that
no.
would be really, really strange. I don't know of anybody who gets super, super like mind-bogglingly excited over safety features. Hey,
It
guess
sounds
what?
like we're like a kid's show host.
Yeah,
We just
right,
figured out
right.
Blue's Clues.
Guess what? The car locks you in. If somebody's gonna hit you from behind, it locks you in. Incredible. All right. we're we're not doing that with it, okay?
Okay.
It's more like, hey, this is important. Like this is something I think you're really going to appreciate. Right? So you're presenting something you know they're going to like.
Yeah.
So
A good situational element that you could add to this, if you feel that this fits your flavor. Um, if they just asked you a question, lead into this saying, "I'm really glad you asked that question," because I think that's going to set the tone that you want for this read.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got it. I got it. I'm gonna try and add that at the beginning, though. I'm gonna try and add that if that's all right.
Yeah, add a lead in that might help. The other thing that was sticking out in my mind is just the overall sort of uh, pitch or tone of the voice. It stays in the same sort of vocal range throughout. There's not a lot of musicality or any sort of like pitch or tone shift throughout the read. So see if there's like some levels you can play with there, because it just feels like it's like the 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature in it first. It's all very kind of like the same sort of high pitched note all throughout. So see
Okay.
if there's something that you can play with, yeah, see if there's something you can work with there.
Okay. I'm glad you mentioned that. The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature, and a first for the manufacturer, a safe exit assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers. A warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and most importantly, the doors remain locked.
Okay. Thoughts? Input? What are y'all thinking?
I feel like we're edging closer. A script like this is super hard. Let me preface what I'm about to say with that because when people do what they call character work, even though I agree with Mike, it's all character work. When people do what they call character work, it's so easy for some reason for them to be like, "Oh, I'm in this scene and I'm fighting the bad guy and I have a sword in my hand and here's all the things going on." And it's just like your brain wants to play that way because it's more fun in reality. But, what I'm missing from this read, and or it's I shouldn't say missing, it's coming through in bits and pieces, but not sustained, is that constant connection to the scene at hand. So you're kinda slipping back into how you initially did your read, while bringing in some parts of it that are a little bit more, "Oh, okay, yeah, he's somewhere, he's in a scene, he's talking to a person, I can kind of get a feel for what's going on." So, my main comment would be work hard to maintain the connection to the scene throughout the script, especially because this kind of read is gonna be, I mean, this is a snippet, but you gotta be able to gas it up for a full, like, hour, 2 hours, 10,000 words, it's gonna get crazy in there. So, it requires a ton of mental effort, a ton of concentration, and I think it's one of the hardest forms of voiceover. So, that's what I would say. That's what I would recommend.
Okay. Alright, so what I want to try and do though this time is when I'm doing the movements, I am not using my arms. I'm kind of like putting my hands together, separating them, and kind of
So it's less important that you tell us what you're going to do, and more important that you make the choice and and let it come through in your performance.
right.
Like if you have an idea of of how to change your read, do it, and let's hear
Alright.
how it goes.
Okay. I'm glad you mentioned that. The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature, and a first from the manufacturer, Safe Exit Assist. This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe Exit Assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers. A warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and most importantly, the doors remain locked.
Okay. What did y'all think of that one?
I was trying to listen to it and pay attention to it, but this is basically a mid-tone the entire read. There was no up notes, no down notes. There was just the same note the entire
Yeah,
read.
it was very, very lacking in musicality, and I know this is gonna sound a little nitpicky, but instead of exit, you said exit, a safe exit assist, you know? When you're doing, like, a read, especially for, like, whether it's a commercial or, like, an explainer thing, you have to keep your accent neutralized. Exit, exit, safe exit assist.
Well, so that's more of a regionalism right there. Exit versus exit. It I that would have less of an impact, I would think. Uh, in my experience, that usually has less of an impact because I can sometimes do weird things with words. I've been asked if I was Canadian once. That was weird. Um, just because of some way I pronounced something. But I think more importantly than that, Josh, you missed approaching in the last sentence.
Oh, I did?
Yes. You said when the system detects a rearward object.
Oh,
You missed
whoops.
approaching, an approaching rearward object.
Whoops.
Because you could be backing up into something. Like that's a rearward object, right? Like imagine the car locks you into it when you're backing up. Like, that's not the whole point of the safety feature.
Alright.
So, um, again, when it comes to corporate narration, when it comes to explainer videos, the information you present is king. So that is the main character. So knowing where you're going and being really clear on that, and then presenting it in a way where you sound like this is important to you, is kind of the main crux of having really really good corporate narration. Again, it's important to you and you know what you're saying.
Okay.
Those are the main things you're going for. However you do that, do it.
Okay.
If you need to give yourself a lead in, if you need to do something crazy, if you need to turn the gain down on your microphone and just stand in your booth and scream for a couple of minutes, I don't care. Just,
If I
you got to
could.
do something to sort of like, okay, I'm shaking off all the rust. This isn't sales. This is me trying to explain something really important here. Let's go for it.
I just want to add one comment. So I want to reiterate what Andrew said. So the lead in is working for you very nicely because you
Yes.
sound connected on the first line. But the problem is then you stay there. Um, so you basically stay in the same sort of emotional position throughout the entire script. Um, so one way, honestly, I don't know if we have time for it or even if it's worth doing right now, but uh, sometimes what I like to do is if I understand the script well enough, I will deliver it without looking at it. So by that I mean I won't be slavish to the words at all. Like I don't really care what it says. I'll just kind of deliver the concepts and ideas that I need to communicate over this short frame just to get myself in the right frame of mind, in my own words, and see if that kind of allows me to shift kind of emotionally as the topics and concepts change. Because it's not all the same thing that we're talking about, even in this short little passage. You know, you're starting by introducing the concept, then it's purely like explanatory. What does the concept do, and why is it important, or what does the technology do, and what is it? How is it important? And then finally, you get into actual functionality and exactly how it could work in the real world and why that's going to be important for possibly saving people's lives. So anyway, not saying that that's something we want to do right now, but just an idea in practice moving forward.
Yeah, these are all thoughts. Again, these are all tools. Here's the
Yeah.
thing though. The most important part is you gave us a read where you were much more emotionally connected to it than you did before.
Okay.
That was the direction we really wanted you to head in, and you definitely hit that.
Okay.
So, why don't you give us one last read? We're not going to ask you to do anything super crazy, but again, think of the situation that you're in. You are wearing, let's say this is Toyota, okay? We're just going to give it a company. It's not Toyota. I don't know exactly what it is. But we're going to say it's Toyota for now, okay?
Okay.
So you are wearing the company shirt. It's like that
Mhm.
little button up shirt. It's got a collar. It's got Toyota. It's got Josh printed right underneath it, you know? And somebody's just asked you, why should I get the 2019 model?
Okay. All right.
Whenever you're ready, just take that and go with it.
Okay. I'm glad you mentioned that. The 2019 model receives another advanced safety feature, and a first for the manufacturer, a safe exit assist. The feature This feature temporarily prevents doors from being opened when another vehicle is approaching from behind, even when the doors are unlocked. Safe exit assist works when the child lock feature has been activated. When the system detects an approaching rearward object, it sounds an alert for passengers. A warning pops up on the driver's center cluster, and most importantly, the doors remain locked.
Okay. All right. How did you feel? What were you feeling? Did you see the scene? Were you talking to someone?
Yeah,
Okay.
I put myself like in a like how you said I'm like dressed up in a company t-shirt and all that, and I'm standing like I'm walking with them to the car, and they ask me a question about it, and I'm like walking around the car, tell them, hey, this car is more better because it has this feature, and so I'm kind of like just touring them around the car. That's what I
Good.
was going for.
Good. That's fantastic. Because ultimately, that's gonna be where you really transform your reads, is where you have a clear, concise idea of where you are, who you're talking to, and who you are. Now, again, we could keep going. We could keep refining this. I think we're moving into a little bit of an overload here.
Yeah.
I don't want to overload you, and you've gotten lots and lots of information on your read. The thing is you've made an important step, which is moving from a less connected read to a more connected read.
Yeah.
We can refine it from there, but so far that was really the goal that I was going for.
I wanted to go back to something Amanda, when I first read the script, when she said it was like a fifth grader reading a book or something. When I was looking back and listening to it, I was like, oh my god, it sounds like I'm just reading a book in like high school for the
Yeah.
class. Like they call on me and they say, hey, can you read this paragraph? I'm like, okay, yeah, that's not good.
No,
But
yeah, you definitely changed up your read quite a bit.
yeah. Of course, I said that to myself. I didn't say it in call, so I didn't break the rule yet, did I? I didn't break it yet, did I?
No. So here's
Okay,
the deal. Here's why we have that rule. And I get that people get kind of confused at that because I've been asked, look, you're gonna be self-directing. Why do you never let people direct themselves on your workouts? Well, here's the thing. Good self-direction starts with good direction. You have to get practice directing people. You have to get practice giving feedback and being clear about it. And once you get that down, you start realizing something. You start realizing that as you give feedback, it doesn't come from a place of judgment. It doesn't come from a place of malice. It comes from a place of genuine belief that the read could be better. Things could be different. You could try something that'll really improve what you're doing. And that is ultimately the feeling that I want you guys to instill within yourselves when it comes to giving feedback. You can do this better, and here's specifically how. Once you have developed that feeling more, once you have developed that sense more, when you go back to self-direct, because you're going to do that during your auditions, um, you need to treat your recordings as though they are a separate person.
Hmm.
You sit down behind the microphone, you put the headphones on, you are now the actor, right? You are not the director, you are the actor, you are the performer. Deliver the script, perform the script. Make your choices and go with it. And then, once you are no longer behind the microphone as the actor, once you are listening back to it, then you critique the performance, not the person. Don't critique you, critique what was going on with the read.
Okay.
That's ultimately the goal with it, is to
Okay.
treat all of your performances when you are doing an audition, when you are self-directing, treat your performances as though they are somebody else in the workout.
Okay.
Because it's way too easy for you to be cruel to yourself.
Hmm.
Just saying.
That's the
This
truth.
goes for everybody here. This goes for everybody here. Because we are creatives, we want to do this, we want to be involved in voice acting in this sort of really fun, crazy kind of creative experience. It's really easy for us to want to be perfect at it, to want to do the absolute best we possibly can, and we put that as our goal, complete perfection. Welcome to
Alright.
disappointment. You'll never be able to get to complete perfection, right? That is entirely subjective.
I was see
Welcome to Disappointment Population U.
I've
Exactly.
seen a lot of people say it's a lot easier to be negative all the time.
Uh-huh.
And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, most of the time in my life, or throughout my whole life basically, it's been like that. So I feel like it's my mind automatically goes to, like, if I read a script, like say if I do an audition and I hear it back and the character I have to play as is more more hyped, more
Mhm.
like they're on something basically. and uh, and I listen back, I'm like, oh, what the hell was that? That's not good at all. And that's so it's like I can't. I'm having trouble trying to find the positives in a script and my performance.
So here's the
So
thing. Here's a good way of doing it. Focus more on what needs to change. Don't ask yourself what sucked. Ask yourself what needs to be different.
can I make better?
Yeah, what can be better, right?
Okay.
Because believe me, I have been sent a lot of terrible demos. been sent a lot of terrible demos. I've listened to quite a few bad ones, on my own as well. Um, it should never be about why does this suck, even though that's fun to talk about sometimes. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
That is fun to talk about sometimes. But it's more important that you recognize what was bad and a solution to it. That was bad. Cool. That's where you start with. Why was it bad? Because it wasn't this. Okay, so then the change that needs to be made is do this instead.
I should hire you for my therapist. I swear. You're making me be. You're
There's your
making me feel a
testimonial.
lot better.
Actually, I was
Okay.
going to ask you guys, since we are going to be launching something new, if you could send us an email at info@themiccheck.org about your experience with us. Carissa, would you mind putting up the email in the chat or something so that people can send those in? We'd love. I would really love to, if you guys are willing to. I'd really love to hear from you guys about specifically what you think and feel about joining us here. Info@themiccheck. The email address. The email address.
Kind of awesome that your wife is just like literally down the hall and you can just talk to her like that.
Yeah, it's literally like it's just off camera, but hang on, like that's there's my hallway. That's her station
Oh,
right
there
back
she
there.
is.
But yes, there it is. So if you could just email us, give us your thoughts, give us your impressions. We'd love to hear from you. But anyway, yeah, thanks, Brendan. This stream's sponsored by BetterHelp. We're not. Let's not confuse. Please.
It's actually sponsored by NordVPN.
Oh,
No,
God.
please stop.
So many of the YouTubers I watch have that at the beginning. I'm like, okay, skip
Yeah,
10
right.
seconds.
You're forgetting the most obvious. Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh my God.
Raid Shadow Legends.
But I
Let's
appreciate
play
all the
Raid Shadow Legends.
I appreciate all the feedback because I know most of the time, like I told you before, Michael, I've only been at this for about a year and a half, and
Mhm.
so far it sounds like I'm getting a lot better, even if it's stuff I'm not used to.
It's incremental.
Because like it from my voice and the way I talk and put myself in character, it's in my head. I'm like, can I do a corporate voice? Can I do that kind of voice? Then when I like one type of character, this was like a few months ago. I reached out through another server where I had to voice like an energetic little kid, like that's hyped up on sugar, that kind of voice.
All right.
I'm like,
All right.
how am I gonna do this? Because I can't do a high pitched voice. But when I try to do it, when I try to like a live audition kind of,
Mm-hmm.
I did it, and the guy said, just pretend you're a kid like on Christmas that gets what they wanted. And I put that in character, and they said that was pretty accurate, but you have to do the tone and yada yada. But I'm like, I can't. It was hard for me to do the pitch before, but now since I did the role and tried to audition, I was like, oh yeah, I guess I can do a high pitched voice. I could
So-
scream like a girl, but I can't do a high pitch. I couldn't do a high pitched voice.
So here's the thing, and I think we're gonna go ahead and end the stream after this. This will
Yeah.
be like the parting message, but yes, I know we're being asked for pattern break, whatever. So the thing is voiceover. When people say that voiceover is a journey, like they mean it. He never lets. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. So, when they say voiceover is a journey, they absolutely mean it because you are learning at every step. If you ever think you are like at the pinnacle of your capabilities and you are 100% ready to go, you're in the wrong place mentally.
Yeah.
You're constantly going to be questioning yourself, and that's okay. Don't let that hold you back. Don't use that as an excuse to not do something. Use it as a reason to learn.
You're
If you're
always
questioning
learning.
something about yourself, it's more like, oh, okay, maybe I need to learn more about this.
We're
If you don't
always
think you can
learning.
do a character, or if you don't think you can do a corporate voice, then look for YouTube videos on people talking about corporate narration. Look for practices where they're doing corporate narration. Like, go and experience those things. Like, get
Okay.
out there and really expand your horizons. Use the opportunity to reach out and to grow as an individual. If you think you can't do something, it's just because you've never tried it and you don't know. So it only makes sense for you to reach out and give it a try. And this goes for
Okay.
everybody. If you feel confident doing something, that's the thing you should be questioning the most. Because if you're not trying to constantly grow and expand in what you're doing, then you're not going to sound like you're getting any better. You're not going to get any better. It should be a journey.
All right. I
So,
got it.
yeah, ultimately, parting message this time, please look for any opportunity possible to expand your horizons and do everything you can. And with that, let's go ahead and wrap up the broadcast portion of the meeting. That does not mean that we're ending the meeting, so if you want to still read, please stick around. And if you have
I
any other
think that's
questions, feel free.
I'm gonna hop off though, but
No problem.
I appreciate everything you guys are telling me.
And thanks for
Trust
being
me,
here,
when
man.
this is gonna help a lot, especially with the pretending to be in a scene or something, just putting myself in an environment. That will help a lot, trust me.
Absolutely, it will. All right, you take
All
it
right.
easy.
Have a good
And
day,
to all
everyone.
of you who are viewing on Twitch, you can still join us. Exclamation mark join all together, no spaces. You can still jump on in. We'll be here for a little while longer. But if you're watching us anywhere else, come on, just be here. You know where all the links are. They're all down there. Anyway, take it easy, everybody.